All right, people, Mr. Right here with Lesson 7 for the tuba. In Lesson 7, we're going to be covering eighth notes. Now, eighth notes, if you look at the screen, eighth notes are joined together by a single bar connecting the two stems together. Here's one stem right there and another stem, and there's a bar connecting those two stems. So these move twice as fast as quarter notes. A quarter note takes up the whole beat. Pow, 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 pow. But this first eighth note takes up the first half of the beat in 4/4 time signature, and this is the second half. So this is like the first half, second half, or the downbeat and the upbeat. Let's pretend that your foot's tapping on the floor. Just tap, tap, tap. When your foot strikes the floor, that begins the downbeat or the first half of the beat. When you lift your foot and when your foot comes to its highest point, when it gets to the highest point, that begins the second half of the beat or the upbeat. So the downbeat lasts from the time you tap your foot until you reach that top part. So it's down, up, down, up, down. That's the downbeat and the upbeat. Sometimes music just plays on the upbeats. Ba, da. We'll get into that in Lesson 8. But the first half of the beat is the first half or the downbeat. The second half is the upbeat, and it begins when the foot reaches its highest point. In number 2 here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4. So we fit both of these little notes right here, both of these eighth notes, into beat 1 right here, into this one beat, because there's beat 2 and there's beats 3 and 4. Now, we're just going to start off this first exercise. It's kind of a review, but help us to tune up that E natural, second valve right there. And also at the bottom of the page, I'm going to introduce what's called a crescendo. It's an Italian word to get louder. So, and every time that, and I've written this in, start soft when you see a crescendo, but that's not what you'll normally see in music. But I just wanted you to kind of get in the habit of anytime you see a crescendo marking, you automatically get softer so that you'll have more room to get louder. And the way you get louder is just more air, and you keep your embouchure firm so that the embouchure doesn't get blown out by the air pressure. So anytime we see a crescendo, we'll automatically get soft and then get loud. So let's start off with number 1, and I've got my metronome set for 90 beats per minute. 1, 2, 3. And then, number 2, this is when we start playing these eighth notes. All is encompassed in beat 1 right here. So this is the first half of the beat, second half of the beat. And then it just continues with different patterns going on. So here comes number 2. 1, 2, 3. Number 3 is the exact same thing as number 2, except instead of putting these downbeat arrows right here, what I did is show you how to count it. So number 3, you count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4. So as soon as we play that and, we pop right into beat 2, because this only lasts a half a beat. So it's 1 and 2. And notice that I say and. It's just what musicians do. We count this as, we say it as and, and we always write it as a plus sign. Okay? So let's try number 3 now. 1, 2, 3. Number 4, a little bit different pattern. Right here we got 2 beats of rest right in the middle of the measure. And notice here we go 4 and 1 and 2, 3. 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Right. So let's try number 4. 1, 2, 3. Then number 5, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1. So you have to really pay attention. And I see this measure as like an entire word. I see, okay, I'm playing straight eighth notes between the E and the F, and I'll beat 4. I stop. So in my mind, I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and then I've done exactly enough notes. So I kind of just read it as a complete word instead of trying to have my eyes follow along every single little dot that's on the page there. Number 5. 1, 2, 3. And then number 6, I should have numbered it, sorry. But it starts off with a B flat, E, F, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to start soft on this B flat, increase our airspeed until we drive right in there. We're not going to take a breath right before this big climax. Anytime you see a crescendo, you want to drive in to the place that you're going to. So you go like a wave that crashes. You don't see a wave at the ocean go, it doesn't take a breath right before it crashes. It just kind of one fluid motion. Okay, so here we go, number 6. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that should give you a good idea as to how to tackle Lesson 7 for the tuba.